But I got to move on. Let's see what we got next. We got Mark Briscoe. Let's see what he's yelling about. Is he still yelling about MJF, I wonder?
Wait, MJF! I done had enough, man. I done flew across the damn ocean. Tonight, I'm gonna find you and I'm gonna kill you, son!
He's still on one about MJF. This is interesting. Yeah, he had that match and he got screwed over. His foot was on the rope, so to him, it's not over. All right, fine. I'm fine with that. Let's see what happens. I don't remember anything happening with that, but I guess we'll see later on. Moving on, backstage we got Ricochet hanging out with Gates of Agony, his henchman.
Ladies and gentlemen, what you are looking at right now is the hottest group in all of professional wrestling. Ricochet!
Look, as I'm sure you know by now, I don't like it. Bald people freak me out, and frankly, the idea of me being bald actually gives me agita. Hold on. I'm here to conduct business. Now look, as the old saying goes, the enemy of my enemy is my friend, and right now, currently, our enemy is looking for moi. So what would happen, pray tell, if all of us found him first? So what do you say? Want to be my friend?
You know, Max, normally I love to see you run around here stressed to the max like a chicken with your head cut off. However, Mark Briscoe, he irks me. And I think we owe him a little something. So you got yourself a deal.
That's what I'm talking about. Now it's time to plan and... Hey, get this camera out of here, man. Get out of here.
Well, Ricochet and MJF coming to...
Interesting. They came to a pretty easy agreement there. It went smoothly. Ricochet's all about it. MJF is his type of guy, so he's passed off Mark Briscoe to Ricochet, okay? Interesting storyline plot there, and more planning to come. So I will spoil it that they do things that are major in Forbidden Door. This stable does, I guess, at the behest of MJF. So overall, I'll give this backstage thing a thumbs up. I think this was an interesting segment. It's probably an important segment. If I were to really do a concise summary of major events at Forbidden Door, I would put this segment in it. But all right, next up, and Hangman Page is here. He's entering the ring to cut a promo. This is the next segment. So we got to listen to Hangman Page. He's the world champion.
Last week, I was jumped from behind in the parking lot by Maxwell Jacob Friedman. Jumped from behind because that is how MJF likes to handle things. Underhanded, backstabbing, opportunistic. If Max has ever had a problem in his life, he can't look it head on because he does not have the balls to do it. And that's why I know it is a waste of time. It is a waste of my time. It is a waste of your time to call him out to this ring right now because I know he won't come down here and get the piss beat out of him a few nights early because he is an insecure and godless coward. But Max, I need you to know that once you sign that casino gauntlet contract and you stand across from me in the ring at Forbidden Door, there will be nothing underhanded. There will be no backstabbing. And there will be only one opportunity for you for the World Championship. And I swear to God, Max, I am going to shove my size 12 ostrich leathers straight up your checkered print ass.
Well, does the challenger have the courage?
So MJF's music is playing, but no MJF.
Hangman, I'm sorry. I'm getting word that we have a message for you. MJF has one of our cameras backstage, I understand. He does want to speak to you, but apparently if you leave the ring before he finishes, okay, something bad, according to MJF, something very bad is going to happen. I'm sorry, but he's got a camera. You've got to stay in the ring. I'm very sorry. Yeah. Okay, he's got the camera, guys. What's going on now?
Hey, man. Hey, Seabiscuit. Up here.
Hey, bud. Hey, do you remember when I told you you're at your most vulnerable when you're angry? Well, say hello to your vulnerability. Hey, man, here's the deal. Okay, buddy? You're going to give me what I want. But I'm not greedy, man. I just had 3 requests for Forbidden Door. 3 simple requests, and then your friend here is going to be safe and sound. However, if you don't say yes to my 3 requests, am I home, Miss Bud? Well, then, unfortunately...
Oh, you bastard! You bastard!
He's going to be Kentucky Fried. Woo! Pungent. So here are the 3 demands. Number 1, the title can change hands via disqualification. Number 2, the title can change hands via countout. And number 3, which I didn't originally have planned, but good on you. You tricked me last week. Congrats, you outsmarted me for all of 5 seconds. Number 3 is, I do not have to use my contract in order to get my match at Forbidden Door. So what's it going to be, Hangman? Because about right now, I'm going to ask for a lighter, and we're going to find out if the people like it when MJF lights things on fire as much as they do when their hero Hangman does. And you, my friend, have until the count of 5. Come on, Ryan, for this for me, buddy. Thank you. 1.
Put it down! Put it down!
2.
Max, put it down!
3.
Put it down!
4.
5! 5! 5! You got it! 5!
That's what I thought.
Wow.
See you at Forbidden Door, Hangman. Congratulations. You're still a hero.
Well, MJF weaseling his way out of having to execute that contract with Hangman Adam Page. Hangman Adam Page in pursuit of MJF.
Well, that's the end of that, and Hangman is pissed, and he runs backstage, and presumably he's going to try to find them, and he's got a steel chair. So, wow, okay, I will say that turned it around for MJF pretty quickly. He doesn't have to cash in his contract, so that's not the end if he loses. Interesting. Plus, some stipulations. I gave that segment 2 thumbs up. The stipulations are interesting. If he can egg him on to get disqualified, he could egg Hangman on somehow and get him disqualified, he'll win the title, and if he's a count out, he'll win the title. All right, well, that's a lot of advantages for MJF. We'll see what comes of it later on. I think it was an exciting match. It was a really solid match, I will say, but we will get to that review in a little bit. But very next segment, Hangman Page is looking backstage for Ricochet, and he finds him, and he just nails him with the steel chair. I don't know why Ricochet was so nonchalant waiting there, with his back turned. I would have been like hiding or head for the hills, left the building already or something. But here's Hangman Page pinning Ricochet to the wall and screaming in his face.
Oh, where's Max? Where's he at? Oh, tell me where's he at?
Oh my God, freaking Ricochet. I gotta say, this I love this segment. I love this shit. This was not bad. Anyways, the security comes in and pulls him away, and that's that. Freaking Ricochet. And he actually nails one of the security guards in the face, so Hangman Page is not fucking around, I guess. Gates of Agony show up. A little too late, though. They're just pissed off about it. And they were not there in time to help Ricochet. But Ricochet survived, though. But that was a low-down, dirty thing to do. Ricochet and the Gates of Agony to want to burn Mark Briscoe and light him on fire. They should have left the building. They should have ran away as far as they could as soon as it happened. Instead, I don't know why they were just hanging out back there like idiots, basically. That's all I got to say about that. But I got to move on to the next match. It's MJF. It's Adam Page. They had a whatchamacallit, video package for this. Sorry. I got 20 minutes left. Let's see if I could run through all this in 20 minutes. I got to run off to work. But what I found was funny was the crowd singing MJF's music. They did this also on Dynamite, but it just sounded funny to me because the crowd in Europe does this thing where they like singing, but MJF's music is one that's kind of hard to sing to. Okay, here's MJF. Danielson is on commentary for this match, Bryan Danielson. Here's Hangman Page. And MJF didn't execute his contract, plus, as what he pulled off on Collision, or on Dynamite, by threatening to burn Mark Briscoe alive, he can also win the title here via countout or disqualification. So immediately MJF goes to the ropes, runs away, delays the start of the match, but eventually Hangman Page does get him in the ring, and the match does take off. So here, finally, Hangman Page is laying into him. They fight on the outside here. I'm going to wait for it to get back in the ring before I show some highlights. Here's an Orihari moonsault from Hangman Page. He does it often, so I'll give it a half a point. If he saved it for big nights, maybe I would give more points, but he does it on freaking Dynamite or Collision when he's on there. So MJF, here he is setting up a table. It's going to come into play later. Again, weirdly that they could use tables, and it's not a disqualification. But Hangman Page gets up, and after Hangman gets called a piece of shit by MJF, he's going to do a backflip onto him and a tombstone pile driver combination. So I'll give that little combination a half a point. Moving on in the match, we got a dead eye onto the table. Goddamn. I'll give that spot 2 points. 2 thumbs up. But why is it not a DQ? I don't know. That should be the end of the match. That should be a win for MJF, really, if the title changes hands on a DQ. But the ref's discretion, the ref, Bryce Remsburg, threw some balls today, as we'll see in a little while. MJF didn't get pinned from that dead eye onto the table, though. His foot is on the table. And here's a drop toe hold from MJF onto a steel chair. Let me play the audio here of MJF talking to Bryan Danielson, who's on
Just like you, he fucking sucks!
All right, MJF gets to curse on television. It is pay-per-view, though, I guess. And Danielson looks on. He doesn't get involved, though. Here's a running tombstone onto the table that was already broken. It looked really good. Blood on the table as well. So I'm going to give that spot a point. I'm impressed with MJF's strength. MJF here tries to take the count out, as it would be a title change, but nope. Hangman Page beats the count. There's MJF taking the turnbuckle off, but he's going to go into the exposed steel himself, and he's going to get busted open. So there's MJF's color. Good color today. Looks good. I approve. And MJF sees that Hangman Page sees that MJF is cut, and it turns really dramatic. But after an exchange that the crowd is really into it, they both go down. MJF kicked out of a dead eye, and the two got a standing ovation from this incredibly large crowd. But moving ahead, MJF pulls out the diamond ring and he puts it on the floor and he tells Hangman to hit him. He's trying to egg him on so he could get disqualified. He even spits in his face, but Page doesn't do it. Instead, he ends up, after thinking about it for a long while, spitting in MJF's face. So should he get disqualified for that? Shouldn't spitting in someone's face be a disqualification? MJF disgusted here. Obviously, as wouldn't any. That's how I would look if I got spit in the face. I'll give 3 points to MJF's look on his face for getting spit on. Although he just spit on the guy himself. Hangman got rid of the ring, but somewhere along the way, MJF got it back because he's gonna use it later. Almost ref bump there. Here's actually a ref bump, and this is where things get really hairy. A low blow from MJF and a heat seeker, and the ref is trying to get up to make this count. When he finally gets there, he makes the count. This is the interesting part. Hangman gets his foot on the rope, but the ref is kind of fucked up, and he just makes the count, and he just lays there. And this is a repeat of the ending that the Mark Briscoe match had when a couple weeks ago on Dynamite, literally MJF won the exact same way, and the ref didn't notice. And he is fucking happy, and the crowd is happy, and he is basically celebrating. And here comes Mark Briscoe. So Mark Briscoe's music hits, and here comes security as he wants to beat Mark Briscoe's ass. Mark Briscoe has waited till this match has ended to come in. He's taking down security as he comes in and gets pulled away. And then he sees, MJF turns around and finally sees now that Hangman Page's foot is still on the rope. This is in a way hilarious, but also in a way it makes no goddamn sense whatsoever. Why Hangman is just laying there for like a whole minute or something. I'm torn here. I'm torn between giving it a thumbs down for how stupid it is and a thumbs up for how funny it is. But okay, so MJF is like, fine, I'm just going to take his foot down. And as he's running to take his foot down, the referee literally gets up right at that second and runs over there like he wasn't hurt at all. Like, what the hell was this? I gotta say, this is funny, but I can't review this. I don't know what to think. And then Bryce Remsburg, for once in his life, grows some balls. He's like, not here, not in this big arena, not like this. And he continues the match. And MJF is fucking pissed. But the match restarts. He pushes Bryce Remsburg. Hangman gets up, misses the buckshot, and then another low blow here from MJF. I thought this might be the end for Hangman, but that was a false finish. MJF is crying about it, and he distracts. His next idea is to grab the CMLL title, use it as a distraction, and hit Hangman Page with the contract, the Casino Gauntlet contract. That is a false finish as well, okay? Many false finishes. Now he's going to grab the diamond ring, put it on. I guess he picked it up at some point. I didn't see when. And then he's going to swing it at Hangman, and the ref is going to see it and catch him and pull it off. And for once in his life, Bryce Remsburg is a good referee. And then MJF gets cracked with the Casino Gauntlet. And then after a dead eye, here's the finish. It's a buckshot, and Hangman Page retains the world title here. So there you go. It's not too bad because MJF at least still has the contract. He could cash it in at some point. But that is that. I will give the match overall a thumbs up. I have to give a rating to that little portion of the match that I've just been wrestling in my mind with it, whether I like that spot where Hangman was just laying there for a minute. Today I'm gonna say I'm in a better mood. Maybe if it was a bad day for me, I would say it was stupid and give it a thumbs down, but I'll give it a thumbs up because God, he was just laying there for so long. Let me see if I can find an image of that. Let me rewind that because that was just too funny. There it is. here's where he was laying down. This is where he sees the leg. Still there. After everything that happened with Mark Briscoe, and MJF turns around and he sees Hangman Page is in the exact same position. The ref is in the exact same position. Obviously, this was very stupid and weird, but I'm still giving a point just because I was entertained by it. It was so ridiculous.